Valid.
Let's get hot on the microphone. Oh yeah.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
up?
Oh,
Celine, you're a ghost right now because I
getting-
didn't do in the spooky tech.
And that's all right.
Furniture's are on mine too. Yeah.
And Baljeet, well, thank you for the welcome in. I appreciate it. Hello,
Welcome
everybody.
in, Celine Heidelman. Welcome in, Bayfinger and Baljeet.
Hello.
Hello.
Pleasure
good
to see everyone again.
Welcome to the Digital Dojo where we challenge, meditate, and cooperate. Not necessarily in that order. Oh, that's a very small Celine. There we go.
Well, thank you for making me sufficiently prominent.
And tonight we present the Reading Renegades, where we do the same things as the Digital Dojo, but in text form, and banter, and the like, and it's fun. And I don't know. Eefy, what up? Eefy is also a new member to the Reading Renegades.
Is it or Ify? Ify. Right?
I looked in the profile pic and saw the pronunciation key.
I'm gonna look back and see what I'm reading on.
And I was like, oh, that's Eefy. Think.
We're learning, we're looking, we're reading.
Oh, I can't see it in streamer mode, but that's okay. Ify. Oops.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Ify.
Either
my-
way, Ivy, thank you for joining us today. It's good to see you.
Being here.
My goodness. Sometimes my
Gracious.
pronunciation prowess is actually pronunciation hubris. Yeah.
You can admit it, you know? Some people can't.
What was I gonna say?
I'm so ready to
I don't know.
reverse this
Yeah,
out.
we're here.
Yes,
We're doing the Reading Renegades thing, where we read the literature, the classics. A
In this
classic I
case,
have
the
not read is the
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Have you read the Odyssey? I've read 4 books on this stream.
I read
Of
it
the Odyssey.
once upon a time when I was far younger and less aware of mythology in the general sense. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to come back to it now as an adult.
Yeah, with like a different translation too, I'm sure, right?
Yes, this would be a different translation than the one that I read when I was younger, but
Nice.
it's not necessarily a bad thing by any stretch.
Yeah. I think it's interesting to see how it all kind of like works over time. Like there's a whole Wikipedia article all about like the different versions of the Odyssey translated into English. And it's just really fascinating, like the way, just the many ways to convey one story.
Well,
Crazy.
it's not just one story. It's
Yeah.
a series of stories.
Correct.
That's true.
But I think we're all enjoying the Odyssey. And I always think it's a pleasure when we can get a plan together and finally make some progress in our journey. I can't remember, Baljeet. Is this your first time reading the Odyssey as well?
It is. It's first time reading through. Not the first time with Greek mythology, but yeah, it's enjoyable so far. I've liked the prose stuff more so than the verse.
Yeah, the verse got really confusing.
It did.
We started getting mixed up with Roman names and Greek names, and like it was just a whole shkabobble, for lack of a better term.
Is that the technical term, shkabobble?
Yeah, I think so.
It is
I
now.
think that's the technical term. It is now, yeah. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. Ray Pierre, I am so glad to give you exposure to the Odyssey in some form. Epic the Musical is a big thing right now, as was like Hades Town a few years ago, which I still want to see. I have a thing about musicals. Like I always want to see I want to like limit my exposure to the music before I go see it. I want to see the whole product. I know that might be freaky, but that's my kind of freaky, okay?
I don't find it particularly freaky. Although I will wonder, should we maybe get a production team together, have Isaac do some directing, and just put on a performance of Hades Town?
Ooh, there's an idea.
Who's fronting the money for the rights to
That's
perform
fair.
it?
I might know a few people.
Oh,
But that is
okay,
so
all right. How was everybody's week?
And it's been good. It was last week with the kiddos. We finished up the school year.
Oh yeah, I just
yeah,
finished up
it was-
our school year too.
Been interesting for sure. I have been, except for this year, I've been terrible about making sure I've been consistent with lesson planning and grading. But this year, I was like really on top of my stuff, and so as I was like planning out my last things, like I almost started like happy crying because I was like so freaking excited about the fact that I did the thing this year, like full on with my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, my kid is running around like a ninja, like like from Naruto. Like she did
That's
that music
awesome.
last week, and I'm like, who taught you to do that?
He's growing up so
He's
fast.
nine.
Oh my goodness.
Like
That's the way you become the next Hokage!
Yeah.
Believe it!
I almost said it on Lucy. I was like, my kid's gonna be the next Hokage.
That's awesome. How coincidental that a ninja song just came up in my playlist. Is from Goemon.
Crazy.
It's
Uh,
listening.
Rated.
I know it's listening. The shuffled playlist is listening. What up, Leo Zesta? Thanks for rating Baljeet. Oh my gosh. What were you
The
playing?
man with all the zest and the man with all the bits,
And the man with all the Lee. Oh.
all the Lee.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the music is going.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Celine, how's your week been? I kind of saw a little bit on your feed that you're... Are you
On
at like
what?
Were you at a convention or something?
Yes. So there was a it was a video game tournament, technically, called Combo Breaker that was held over
heard of
in
this.
Chicago. Which is, several hours of driving for me, and I certainly don't mind doing that. I was originally informed about this by someone who I've been hanging with a fair bit on Blue Sky, named Rekawai. They have recently started streaming themselves and are doing so to pretty meteoric success. So, at any rate, after hearing about this, I was like, hey, that's only a few hours away. Why don't I just pop over there? So I did. I went for yesterday afternoon, and then drove back. So the driving was quite a lot, but the event itself was rather interesting. I think the piece that I really would have liked to have spent more time with was they had indie game developers section. So different people who are developing indie games just had booths and demonstrations of their product, and in some cases, if it was complete enough, they would even run small tournaments throughout the
Oh,
day.
nice. Nice.
In addition to that, I got to meet up with the people behind, I believe it's Able Gaming. I should look up the actual name for the charity. But they are an organization that works with people who have physical limitations, I think might be a polite way to put it. And because of those considerations, they need different kinds of peripherals. So things like particularly low grip strength or lack of fine motor skills, missing digits. So if you don't have a thumb, it's very hard to use a thumbstick.
Yeah. I'm familiar with
so
this kind of technology. Actually, I researched it in college for a presentation we did. So it's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, the
ways.
technology itself is cool.
Yeah.
But what the organization does is it collects the different kinds of peripherals and then works with people who are maybe newly struggling or who have a specific game they'd like to make work. And they provide sample peripherals, and if they find something that works for the person in question, they then provide those peripherals for free along with the setup instructions.
That's amazing.
And assistance.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's explicitly, they don't just make and sell things. It's rather they find products that are on the market and help connect people who need them with the correct product for them. And so after actually interacting with the people who were present there and seeing some of the things that they've laid out and hearing what they do, it's like, this is actually really important stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, it was very cool. They also had a free arcade area, so it was a bunch of custom arcade cabinets that were set to free play mode. So I got to play a couple of those. Strangers didn't seem overly interested in approaching me, and I wasn't ready to go out of my way and like, hey, is the seat taken? Cool, it is now.
Yeah.
So maybe
I've had that
sometime when I've got
experience.
a little more confidence. But then I also got to see some of the core competitions that were going on. It was primarily fighting games that I saw. So they had a bunch of different fighting games that people were playing, and in some cases it was like tournament brackets. In others, it was a matter of scoring so many points per match with a given opponent kind of deal. And so there were just a variety of different people playing games, and it was interesting to watch. I think the other thing that I managed to get through was the artist alley. I do have the complaint that there was this really cool looking custom controller table, but unfortunately the person who was manning the booth was busy playing a game. And when I tried asking about the products, he kind of showed me the controller he was using and then went back to playing the game.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit around until you realize that there's a potential customer here who's trying to buy your product. So I
that's
rolled
kinda
on
rude.
from there, but, well, it happens. But yeah, no, it was a grand time. I also got to meet up with a few streamers while I was there.
Nice.
And so it was just a very fun time, but it also was not terribly large. I think if I'd gone for more than a day and a half to 2 days, I would have run out of things to do.
Right.
And would have been very glad that I have my own car.
Nice. That sounds like a really great time. I'm astonished at the Able Gamer stuff, and I love that. I really want to support that because I did a bunch of research on that in my undergrad for a project, and to know that there's a foundation, kind of just an organization kind of doing that for people with disabilities who want to play games. That's great. That is so cool.
Yeah, no, and I think it's something that people, when they learn about it, it's like, oh, this is actually really cool. But if you don't think about it, you don't learn anything about it. And so it's really until someone exposes you that...
Totally.
And you would post a link about the stuff that's on Blue Sky, right?
I did post a link on Blue Sky, but as I'm looking through here, it looks like it might not be a super accessible link. So what I'm going to do here for today is I'm going to toss the URL for them into... in fact, let's do the one that they actually link to on the card.
No worries. We can check it out later.
Yeah, I'll post it in the side chat for you guys. Or not the side chat, the main chat here, if you guys are okay with that.
Sure.
Brian! This was in the United States. This wasn't a Canadian event. Also, hello, Brian. Welcome
Hi,
in.
Brian.
Grr.
Hello, Brian.
All right. So yeah, Baljeet, I have just posted that. Oh, okay. I got bapped for
Oh.
posting that.
Okay. Oh, if you post it in Discord, then I guess we could post that
Yeah.
on Blue Sky later.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bot is-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to put that in the side chat, but that is the group that I was talking with there. Very friendly folks, very informative. It was something that I would strongly recommend people check out if they have the additional bandwidth. And it's something that you don't really think about, like I said, until you personally or someone in your life needs it. And that's usually the most overwhelming time to try and jump in. So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's good to know in advance and to be aware of what other people need.
Very good info. Thank you, Celine.
Yeah, for sure.
And I believe there's ways of doing hyperlinks now in Blue Sky, so I might do that later. I might check that out. And
Oh, yeah,
make
no,
it an
you can
accessible link
absolutely
channel.
post links in Blue Sky. I just
Yeah.
put it in the alt text because I was not thinking.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean like
Uh-huh.
hyperlinking stuff, like actually formatting it so that you have like text that goes to that website. That's not like the, you know what I mean? Like how you can do it
Oh,
in
an
Word
embedded
and like
link,
emails.
yeah.
Yes. Embedded.
Anyway,
Couldn't think
yeah,
of the
so I
word.
just updated my Blue Sky post with that. And, you know, that'll also have the effect of notifying people on Blue Sky again about it. So, there we go.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yay.
All right. Well, before we get into it, I'm being told that dinner is ready, so I'm gonna go eat, and then we'll come back, and then we can get started. How's that sound?
All right. Do you want to
So-
ping me when you're back then, or
Yeah, we can
like,
do
are
that.
we just gonna read without you for a little bit and then laugh at you when you come back and have no idea what's going on? Which isn't really any different from how it was before. Or wait, no, sorry, that was just. But yeah, how would you like to play this?
I'll ping you guys. I'm gonna leave my music going. Everybody in the chat can chat, and then we'll get started.
All right. Well, thank you, Satio.
Yeah. I'm glad that we got caught up, and yeah, more reading after this break. So.
Mm-hmm. Baljeet, did you want me to hang out here, or?
Yeah, I
Just
wanna see
one
this
second.
attempt. See. Need to figure out how to window capture this. Our projector screen here.
All of them. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. I appreciate that follow.
Thank you for the follow. Whoever that was.
Thank you for the follow. Is that how it sounds? Okay, the tree.
I don't know. I was just doing a voice.
Anything rational is just hard because that's part of life I didn't really get into. I gotcha. Ooh, so deal. When I first came through here, like I would thank you for recommending watching Free Run because I would not have thought this was. I mean, before
Did
that,
I recommend that?
you recommended it. It was you said watch it free not before playing this game, but so when I saw this I was like, this is probably a friggin' mimic. And then I was like, you know what, let's back this anyway, because me thinking, oh, it's just gonna be like one with no body parts except for a mouth. I was very wrong, and I was terrified.
That's funny. Check out how you're
first I had-
playing for a little bit.
Yeah, first I had arms, which I was like, okay, that's scary, and then it got legs. And it was taller than me on top of that, so I was lots of nope, full of nope.
Oh man, I can't really control this window here in OBS. That's okay.
Oh no. When do you think they're gonna release the next season? Has that been announced for Free Run?
Thank you
I don't
so
know,
much
but
for your patience with me.
The manga's going strong though. Welcome back,
How do you feel
Celine.
that? Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Let me at least go through this run.
I thought you were further
Man,
than
don't
Sen's
make-
Fortress for some reason. I don't know why. No, because you just got done with Blighttown and all and Quelaag. Yeah.
Got to see all the player left messages that said just great chest ahead.
Yeah. Well, if the online servers were
suppose-
on.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
Used to be, there would always be several orange soap zone signs that would say things like great chest ahead or incredible chest ahead.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice view.
Oh, there's an asshole right over there.
I knew it. I'm
Ow.
surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, I was about to say. Celine and I were on the same wavelength.
Spaceballs the parody. You probably don't want to jump down the hole that is behind you there, though.
Parody of a parody.
A referential humor based upon a parody.
Oh, that was lucky.
That was a lucky move, and well done.
Yes.
Do not jump down that hole unless you've got fall control. It will hurt.
No, so I'm too dumb for fall control.
I kind of noticed. I saw that just before I hopped off. There are other ways of persuading gravity not to hurt you as you fall, but it can take a little bit.
Get out of my face.
Necromancer 001. Welcome to the chat.
Good to see you here, Necromancer. I think I actually said hi before I left, but
Hello, 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 and hello.
Hello to Bayfinger and Baljeet, the ever elusive Bayfinger, the ever ominous and looming power that is. least that's how I interpret it.
I'm looming? Ooh, interesting. Fruit of the loom.
Fruit of the looming Bayfinger.
Hmm. Fruit of the looming?
Yeah.
This has been, let me not say anything yet for how this run's going, because that's how it's gonna mess up.
Just want to see how far you get.
I'm surprised.
I
really
like
am.
the armor set though. I used it for a long time. Thank you for he's going over that cliff. That's great.
Who's hissing at me? That asshole over there.
Mm-hmm. If you have a ranged weapon or a spell, he's pretty easy to knock off the ledge. I don't know if Oral Decoy will work for this or not, but Soul Arrow certainly will.
But it makes a funny noise. You like funny noise.
Ow.
If you lock onto him and cast the spell, it should launch behind him.
There you go, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well
Oral
done.
Decoy has been
Beautiful.
very fun. Very fun.
Dum dum. Dum dum.
Oh.
That was,
Oh my goodness. That was almost hubris.
And yet, very successful. I approve.
wait, hold up. No way.
What's
no,
wrong?
We're already at a door with the fog.
We are at a fog door.
Would you like a spoiler about that door?
I want to be surprised.
Okay.
Still knows that me and surprises with this have been entertaining.
It's been very clippable.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure either way you'll have a blast.
Ah. Okay.
I get it. I got it, Celine.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm wondering if there's...
Would have hated to think that I made that joke and nobody would have gotten it.
in the
The
world.
rumor in Dark Souls.
You remember those boulders that you've been dodging as you run about? That's the guy dropping them.
Why are you
World
dropping
famous
those bombs?
guy. I think Hollow Knight prepared you for this game very well, Baljeet.
Did it?
I think so.
To
This game
expect that you
prepared
will
me really
die.
well for Fortnite yesterday. Because I got someone with a pickaxe 2 times in a row. Oh. I don't know.
There's goodies down there. There's candy.
Ah.
I'd be more worried about the Balder Knight. But that's me.
I believe. With the
They
power
do
of
have nice
friendship.
equipment drops, though.
Oh yeah.
Big fan.
They're pretty rare, but I love the Balder equipment. The first time I played through this game, I like almost exclusively used I almost exclusively
gear?
used the Balder sword. Side sword is just so good.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
5,500 souls, okay.
Great time. Oh, so I had just eliminated Waylad, and just died very soon afterwards, and I lost like 20,000 souls.
Sounds about normal. It is hard to get to any kind of merchant from Quelaag.
And then step off.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh yes.
Step off. No. Wrong way.
He
Kick
used
him.
shield.
Kick him.
Kick
Kicking
him
is so hard in these games.
so fun though when you do get it to work.
Oh, hey, we're not healing here.
Oops.
I think he disagrees.
Oopsie. All right, good job.
We're not healing in here. Yes, give me that shot.
Yay! He got his Titanite bits.
Okay. Flamestone plate ring. Ooh.
That is a good one.
Do a little reading. Also, if I don't want to say I will, take a hit anytime, but
I know.
this is the furthest I've gotten so far in Sen's Fortress, and like,
I know.
Ow.
It's kind of crazy. You're doing so good.
Do we tell him about the hidden bonfire or not?
No.
nah.
Okay.
So it's been really weird, and certain things have worked. There's one of the friends that kind of pops in chat every now and then, Yada.
Mm-hmm.
I had a blast.
That's pretty. Oh. Ringy ding.
I will be right back.
No worries.
Ah. I feel like those markings mean something on the ground.
Fire good.
Question is, how many seconds do I have in between? Yo. Ooh. That fire was not good.
No fire, no good sometimes. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Nice.
Am I going the right way? Oh god, I hope I'm going the right way.
All paths are viable.
Until you die.
Yeah.
I hear arrows. Hello.
He sees you.
I sees you. Shit. That's fantastic. Okay. Here we go.
Go! Dang. You're doing this. You're really, really doing this.
I'm scared to fuck right now, though. Oh, shit. That would be a great time for me to know if there is a fire anywhere.
There's fire everywhere, potentially. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay. Turning the other way now. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm gonna have to face behind this gate anyway.
Do you want to quit before you get to the fog door? And then we see what Celine's up to.
Is Celine in the... What
Celine
is this?
hopped off the call to take a phone call, but I can ping and see what's going on.
I gotcha. If I quit here, will it leave me here, or will it...
Yeah, yeah. It auto-saves like every step.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty sure I'm gonna have to
That was
face something.
amazing. That was a great Sen's Fortress run.
So yeah, oh, that reminds me of what I was saying. So, Yada,
Mhm.
one of why am I forgetting names now? One of Kaz's friends,
Mhm.
I made a bracelet, and like I wear it to
Oh yeah, I remember this.
stream that I can use, and like I
Mhm.
definitely like it. It's weird that like how there's a difference between how well I do on Dark Souls when I'm wearing it versus when I'm not. It could just be like a mental thing, but at the same time, it's like, why can't it be just the bracelet?
Mm-hmm.
OBS did not switch over. Okay, I got the reading stuff. Hold up. I'm living in the land of Cinder. Yes, very true. Oh, Step Off is a regular show reference. It is. It is. I'm bad at like looking at chat and it gets easier with other games, especially since you can pause them. That has not been the case with Dark Souls. I was playing at one point and I had made the comment, "Oh, I'm in a safe spot. Let me read through chat."
Yeah. The whole game's supposed to be online, which unfortunately you haven't gotten that experience, and I'm sad.
I mean, I'm a little bit happy about it for like I mean, not for like not getting to work with you or other people with it. Maybe that's part's kind of disappointing. But from what I've read about like the next section in Orlando, like apparently that's where like a lot of people like go and mess up other players' games.
That is kind of like the litmus test when it comes to like dark. That's like a lot of people say that's when the real Dark Souls begins. I don't know.
I feel like it's been Dark Souls since that's the beginning. The real test was, can you set up the HUD the right way? Because I was playing without one for the longest. Like I don't know what to do.
Really?
It's like, people think this game is hard.
That's on by default. That the HUD goes away.
The HUD was. I don't think. Well, maybe it was like everything was set to 0.
Weird.
Yeah, I have to go back and look and see. Like I could have easily messed with something as well, and I just didn't realize what I was moving or adjusting. But yeah.
The Celine
Hi.
Heidelman returns.
Yes, sorry about that. Had some family stuff I needed to attend to.
No worries.
But I am back and ready to read when you two are.
Yeah, I'm ready. So once again, welcome everybody to Reading Renegades at the Digital Dojo. Thank you for joining me, Celine and Baljeet, for this night as we continue our journey into the Odyssey.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to put a stream marker here saying reading begin. I know for later.
Dream marker. Didn't know.
So what has happened so far? To recap really quickly for people who are new, I will say this. We are following the son of Odysseus, Menelaus, and he is on a journey to find his father because in the kingdom of Ithaca, where Odysseus reigns, many suitors, would-be suitors, are stepping up. And I'm forgetting his mother's name, if anyone can recall really quick for me.
His mother's name is Penelope. His name is Telemachus, and his father's
Menelaus
friend is
his
Menelaus.
bro. Yeah. Okay.
His uncle,
correct.
basically.
Correct. There's a lot of like telemela, things going on. Yes.
At least you're not calling him things like telemarketer, which, Isaac Anzu tends to do.
Telemachus, correct.
Rapier over here going, Penelope!
Yes. But anyways, on his journey, he goes to visit his father's friend, Menelaus, and tells him that, hey, all these peoples are, like, invaded my homes. I gotta find my dad. What happened to you after that Trojan War or whatever? And he recounted, like, all this stuff about, like, we got stranded by the gods because we didn't, make enough sacrifices to them, and so I had a tough journey coming home, and I bet your father's in the same situation. In fact, I think I heard something about, him and Calypso, and, having beef with... He had some beef with Poseidon. So Poseidon is not kind to Odysseus, and he is imprisoned on wherever Calypso's holding him. So that's where we're at so far. There's a lot of text in between that's like flavorful, but that's essentially where we are. And the nuances come out in between.
And that is part of the fun.
Yeah.
So, who do you want to start us off?
I'll go ahead and start us off. Then we'll do... What's our usual... What did we do last time? I think it was me, you, then
I usually read before you. Yeah.
Okay. So Baljeet... Let's do Baljeet, Celine, and then me. Let's do that.
Okay, so just reversing the order.
Yes. And then whenever we switch off, of course, we do our Full Metal Alchemist eye catch.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Alright.
The gods in council command... Oh, wait, hold on, my bad. Book 5. The gods in council command Calypso by Hermes to send away Odysseus on a raft of trees. And Poseidon, returning from Ethiopia and seeing him on the coast of Phaeacia, scattered his raft, and how by the help of Ino he was thrown ashore and slept on a heap of dry leaves till the next day. And the dawn arose from her couch, from the side of the lordly Tithonus, to bear light to the immortals and to mortal men. And Io, the gods, and lo, my bad.
Low.
And lo,
No worries.
Yeah, no worries.
and lo, the gods
Heyo.
were gathering. Heyo.
Hey,
Heyo! The gods were gathered in session,
And lo, the gods were gathering to session, and among them Zeus, that thunders on high, whose might is above all. And Athene told them the tale of many woes of... I gotta click into the book. Tales of Odysseus, recalling them to mind, for near her heart was he that then abode in the dwelling of the nymph. Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
Father Zeus, and all ye other blessed gods that live forever, henceforth let not any sceptred king be kind and gentle with all his heart, nor minded to do righteously, but let him be hard man and work unrighteousness. For behold, there is none that remembereth divine Odysseus of the people whose lord he was, and was gentle as a father. Howbeit, as for him, he lieth in an island, suffering strong pains in the halls of the nymph Calypso, who holdeth him perforce, so he may not reach his own country, for he hath no ships by him with oars, and no companions to send him on his way over the broad back of the sea. And now again they are set on slaying his beloved son on his homeward way, for he is gone to fair Pylos and goodly Lacedaemon, to seek tidings of his father. Full Metal Alchemist.
All right, we're quick with the changing. I like this rapid-fire reading.
Yeah.
And
Keep
Zeus,
it
gatherer of the clouds, answered and spake unto her, My child, what word hath escaped the door of thy lips? Nay, didst thou not thyself plan this device, that Odysseus may assuredly take vengeance on those men at his coming? As for Telemachus, do thou guide him by thine heart, as well as thou mayest, that so he may come to his own country all unharmed, and the wooers may return in their ship with their labor all in vain. Therewith he spake to Hermes, Spake, counter one!
Wait, no, that's 2. It's 2 for the
Oh, it's
evening.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
I missed it. I missed the first spake. Therewith he spake to Hermes, his dear son, Full Metal Alchemist.
Baljeet, that would be you.
Oh, that's me. Therewith he spake to Hermes. Okay. Therewith he spake to Hermes, his dear son, Hermes. For as much as even in all else thou art our herald, tell unto the nymph of the braided tresses my unerring counsel, even the return of the patient Odysseus, how he is to come to his home, with no furtherance of gods or of mortal men. Nay, he shall sail on a my goodness. Nay, he shall sail on a well-bound raft in sore distress, and on the 20th day.
Well-bound raft. Whalebone bound raft.
Mm-hmm. That, yes. At fertile Sharia? Is that how we're gonna pronounce that?
Sure. I would say, yeah. Sharia or Sharia.
Sharia. Even at the land of the Phaeacians, who are near of kin to the gods. And they shall give him all worship heartily, as to a god, and send him on his way in a ship to his own dear country, with gifts of bronze and gold, and raiment in plenty, much store, such as never would Odysseus have won for himself out of Troy. Yea, though he had returned unhurt with the share of the spoil that fell to him. On such wise is he fated to see his friends, and come to his high-roofed home in his own country. Full Metal Alchemist.
So spake, increment the counter again, he, nor heedless was the messenger, the slayer of Argos. Straightway he bound beneath his feet his lovely golden sandals that wax not old, that bear him alike over the wet sea and over the limitless land, swift as the breath of the wind. And he took the wand wherewith he lulls the eyes of whomso he will, while others again he even wakes out of sleep. With this rod in his hand he flew the stronger slayer of Argos. Above Pieria he passed and leaped from the upper air into the deep. Then he sped along the wave like the cormorant that chaseth the fishes through the perilous gulfs of unharvested sea, and wetteth his thick plumage in the brine. Such like did Hermes ride upon the presses of the waves, but when he had now reached that off isle, he went forth from the sea violet blue to get him up to the land, till he came to a great cave, wherein dwelt the nymph of the braided tresses, and he found her within. And on the hearth there was a great fire burning, and from afar through the isle was smelt the fragrance of cleft cedar blazing, and of sandalwood. And the nymph within was singing with a sweet voice as she fared to and fro before the loom, and wove with the shuttle of gold. And round about the cave there was a wood blossoming, alder and poplar with sweet-smelling cypress, and therein roosted birds long of wing, owls and falcons and chattering sea-crows, which have their business in the waters. And lo, there were about the hollow cave trailed a gadding garden vine, all rich with clusters, and fountains four set orderly were running with clear water, hard by one another, turned each to his own course. And all around soft meadows bloomed of violets and parsley, yea, even a deathless god who came thither might wonder at the sight and be glad at heart. There with the messenger, the slayer of Argos, stood and wondered. Now when he had gazed all within wonder, anon he went into the wide cave, nor did Calypso, that fair goddess, fail to know him when she saw him face to face. For the gods use not to be strange to one another, the immortals not through one have his habitation far away. But he found not Odysseus, the great-hearted, within the cave, who sat weeping on the shore even as aforetime, straining his soul with tears, and the groans and griefs. As he wept, he looked wistfully over the unharvested deep, and Calypso, the fair goddess, questioned Hermes when she had made him sit on a bright, shining seat.
Yay, big paragraph.
Yeah, and it's not over. I need the page turned.
I could take the dialogue and go forthwith, unless you want to continue.
I was hoping to continue. We've got a goddess speaking here, but...
Okay, alright.
Wherefore I pray thee, Hermes of the Golden Wand, hast thou come hither worshipful and welcome, whereas of old thou wert not wont to visit me? Tell me all thy thought, my heart is set on fulfilling it, if fulfill it I may, and if it hath been filled in the council of fate. But now follow me further, that I may set before thee the entanglement of strangers. Full Metal Alchemist.
Aha! We're waiting to do the dialogue, guys. Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith the goddess spread a table with ambrosia, and set it by him, and it mixed the ruddy nectar. So the messenger, the slayer of Argus, did eat and drink. Now, after he had supped and comforted his soul with food, at last he answered and spake to her. Spake on this wise. Thou makest question of me on my coming, a goddess of a god, and I will tell thee this my saying truly at thy command. 'Twas Zeus that bade me come hither, by no will of mine. Nay, who of his free will would speed over such a wondrous space of brine, whereby is no city of mortals that do sacrifice to the gods and offer choice hecatombs? But surely it is in no wise possible for another god to go beyond or to make void the purpose of Zeus, Lord of the Aegis. He saith that thou hast with thee a man most wretched beyond his fellows, beyond those men that round the burg of Priam for 9 years fought, and in the 10th year sacked the city and departed homeward. Yet on the way they sinned against Athena, and she raised upon them an evil blast and long waves of the sea. Then all the rest of his good company was lost, but it came to pass that the wind bare and the wave brought him hither. And now Zeus biddeth thee to send him hence with what speed thou mayest, for it is not ordained that he die away from his friends, but rather it is his fate to look upon them even yet, and to come to his high-roofed home in his own country. So spake he, and Calypso, that fair goddess, shuddered, and uttered her voice, and spake unto him winged words. Full metal alchemist.
We're at 6 counters for the
Yeah,
for Snake.
these spakes come hard and they come fast. They're hard-hitting
The
spakes.
snakes start coming, and they don't start coming.
Yeah.
Hard are
Speak
you
to the
gods.
rules.
Spake to the rules and hit ground. Spaking. Let's see. Hard are
Glad
you
that's
gods and
speaking.
jealous. Let's see. Hard are ye gods and jealous exceeding. Whoever grudge goddesses openly to mate with men, if any make a mortal her dear bedfellow. Even so, when rosy-fingered Dawn took Orion for her lover, ye gods that live at ease were jealous thereof, till chaste Artemis of the golden throne slew him in Ortygia with the visitation of her gentle shafts. So too, when fair tressed Demeter yielded to her love, and lay with Lazen in the thrice-ploughed fallow field, Zeus was not long without tidings thereof, and cast at him with his white bolt, and slew him. Again, ye gods now grudge that a mortal man should dwell with me. Him I saved as he went all alone bestriding the keel of a bark, for that Zeus had crushed and cleft his swift ship with a white bolt in the midst of the wine-dark deep. There all the rest of his good company was lost. But it came to pass that the wind bare and the wave brought him hither. And him have I loved and cherished. And I said that I would make him to know not death, and age forever. Yet forasmuch as it is no wise possible for another god to go beyond, or make void the purpose of Zeus, Lord of the Aegis, let him away over the unharvested seas, if the summons and the bidding be of Zeus. But I will give him no dispatch, not I, for I have no ships by me with oars, nor company to bear him on his way over the broad back of the sea. Yet I will be forward to put this in his mind, and will hide not, that all unharmed he may come to his own country. Yet at sea is wine dark, full metal alchemist.
Full metal alchemist. Then the messenger, the slayer of Argos, answered her, Yea, speed him now upon his path, and have regard unto the wrath of Zeus, let haply he be angered, and bear hard on thee hereafter. Therewith the great slayer of Argos departed, but the nymph lady went on her way to the great-hearted Odysseus when she had heard the message of Zeus. And there she found him sitting on the shore, and his eyes were never dry of tears, and his sweet life was ebbing away, as he would sleep by her, as needs must, in the hollow caves, unwilling lover by a willing lady. And in the daytime he would sit on the rocks and on the beach, straining his soul with tears, and groans and griefs, and through his tears he would look wistfully over the unharvested deep. So standing near him, that fair goddess spake to him.
Oh, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Next page. There you go.
Thank you, thank you. Hapless man, sorrow no more, I pray thee, in this isle, nor let thy good life waste away, for even now I will send thee hence with all my heart. Nay, arise and cut long beams, and fashion a wide raft with the axe, and lay deckings high thereupon, that it may bear thee over the misty deep, and I will place therein bread and water, and red wine to thy heart's desire to keep hunger far away. And I will put raiment on thee, and send thee a fair gale in thy wake, so thou mayst come all unharmed to thy own country, if indeed it be the good pleasure of the gods who hold wide heaven, who are stronger than I am both to will and to do. So she spake, and the steadfastly goodly Odysseus shuddered, having another spake counter, and uttering his voice spake to her winged words. Yet another spake. Herein, goddess, thou hast plainly some other thought, and in no wise my furtherance, for that thou biddest me to cross in a raft the great gulf of the sea, so dread and difficult, which not even the swift gallant ships pass over, rejoicing in the breeze of Zeus. Nor would I go abroad a raft to displeasure thee, unless thou wilt deign, O goddess, to swear a great oath not to plan any hidden guile to mine own hurt. So spake he, and Calypso, the fair goddess, smiled and caressed him with her hand, and spake, adding to the counter, and hailed him. Knavish thou art, no weakling, in wit thou hast convinced and spoken such a word. Let earth be now witness hereto, and the wide heaven above, and the falling water of the Styx, the greatest oath, and the most terrible to be blessed by gods. I will not plan any hidden guile to thy unknown hurt. Nay, but my thoughts are such, and such will be my counsel as I would devise for myself, if ever so sore need came to be. For I, too, have a righteous mind, and my heart within me is not of iron, but pitiful even as thine. Full Metal Alchemist.
Yay! Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith, the fair goddess led the way quickly, and he followed hard in the steps of the goddess, and they reached the hollow cave, the goddess and the man. So, he sat him down upon the chair whence Hermes had arisen, and the nymph placed by him all manner of food to eat and drink, such as is meet for men. As for her, she sat over against divine Odysseus, and the handmaids placed her by her ambrosia and nectar. So they put forth their hands upon the good cheer set before them. Sometimes the order of the words really trips you up.
Yeah.
It is an interesting meter they're sticking to.
Yeah. But after they had taken their fill of meat and drink, Calypso, the fair goddess, spake first, and said, Son of Laertes, of the seed of Zeus, Odysseus of many devices, so it is indeed thy wish to get thee home to thine own dear country even in this hour. Good fortune go with thee even so. Yet, didst thou know in thine heart what a measure of suffering thou art ordained to fulfill, or ever thou reach thine own country, here, even here, thou wouldst abide with me and keep this house, and wouldst never taste of any death. Though thou longest to see thy wife, for whom thou hast ever a desire day by day. Not in sooth that I avow me to be less noble than she in form or fashion, for it is in no wise meet that mortal men should match them with immortals in shape and comeliness. And Odysseus, of many counsels, answered and spake unto her.
Hey.
Baljeet's having a heck of a time keeping up with all these spakes.
Oh yeah, anyone else can type in there though. It's open.
Oh, that's true. Be
Yeah.
not wroth with me hereat, goddess and queen. Myself, I know it well, how wise Penelope is meaner to look upon than thou, in comeliness and stature. But she is mortal, and thou knowest not age nor death. Yet, even so, I wish, and long day by day, fare homeward and see the day of my returning. Yea, and if some god shall wreck me in the wine dark deep, even so I will endure. I mean, if it's a good dark wine, he will endure. With a heart within me patient of affliction. For already I have suffered full much, and much have I toiled in perils of waves and war. Let this be added to the tale of those. So spake he. Moment of silence for the spake. And the sun sank, and darkness came on. Then they twain went into the chamber of the hollow rock, and had their delight of love abiding each by other. Oh my! I didn't know it was like that.
I mean, it's like that. They're delighting in love.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
the chamber
cool.
of the hollow rock.
I mean, goddess. You gotta abide by the goddess.
I mean, he
So
said,
soon as early dawn shone forth the rosy-fingered Anon, Odysseus put on him a mantle and doublet, and the nymph clad her in a great shining robe, light of woof and gracious, and about her waist she cast a fair golden girdle, and a veil withal upon her head. Then she considered of sending Odysseus, I got myself into a big paragraph, the great-hearted. She gave him a great axe fitted to his grasp, and an axe of bronze double edge, and with a goodly handle of olive wood fastened well. Next, she gave him a polished... What is this word? What is this word, and what does it mean? Can we pause and dissect that for a second?
Yeah.
An adze is a type of woodworking tool.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Gotcha.
something he can use to smooth out some of the planks.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So an ads, okay. Not to be confused with advertisements. Next, she gave him a polished ads for Coca-Cola, delicious and fresh. And she led the way to the border of the isle, where tall trees grew, alder and poplar and pine
Poplar?
that reacheth. Is it poplar or poplar? I never know how to pronounce
Poplar.
that
I
one.
was thought it was poplar.
Poplar.
Poplar. I'll help you say poplar.
Poplar.
I was about to go for the same
I'm
thing,
glad we're in the
Celine.
same spot. Yeah. Yeah.
And pine that reacheth unto the heavens, seasoned long since and sear. I bet they're throwing all these kinds of words. Is that sear? Seasoned long since and sear? Sarah?
I think that word is either misspelled or using such an archaic spelling that I don't recognize it.
Oh man. Okay. Seasoned long since and sear. Yeah, I don't even know what this means.
Maybe serene, and it just didn't scan correctly.
Okay, gotcha. Project Gutenberg. We are your QA testers. That might lightly float for him. Now, after she had shown him where the tall trees grew, Calypso the fair goddess departed homeward, and he set to cutting timber, and his work went busily. 20 trees in all he felled, and then trimmed them with the axe of bronze, and deftly smoothed them over, and over them made a straight line. Meanwhile, Calypso the fair goddess brought him augers, so he bored each piece and jointed them together, and then made all fast with tree nails and dowels. I'll finish out the paragraph. Wide as is the floor of a broad ship of burden, which some man well skilled in carpentry may trace him out, of such beam did Odysseus fashion his broad raft. And thereat he wrought and set of the... Ooh, thank you for the follow. Princess Juliana. Prince Juliana. Oh, Excuse me.
A prince.
A prince! A prince has come to grace us with their presence. Hail to the prince. And thereat he wrought and set up the deckings, fit them to the close set uprights, and fished them off with long gunwales. And there he set a mast, the yard arm fitted thereto. And moreover he made him a rudder to guide the craft. And he fenced it with wattled osier withies. Oh, that's a good tongue twister. From stem to stem, to be a bulwark against the wave. And he fenced it with wattled osier withies from stem to stern, to be a bulwark against the wave. Okay. And I just wanted to see if I could make that into a tongue twister. And piled up wood, see, there's a lot of W's in there. I think it's got the makings of it. And piled up wood to back them. Meanwhile, Calypso, the fair goddess, brought him a web of cloth to make him sails. And these two he fashioned very skillfully, and he made fast therein braces and halyards and sheets. And at last he pushed the raft with levers down to the fair salt sea. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. It was the fourth day when he had accomplished all. And lo, on the filth the fair Calypso sent him on his way from the island, when she had bathed him and clad him in fragrant attire. Moreover, the goddess placed on board the ship 2 skins, one of dark wine, and another a great one of water, and corn too in a wallet, and she set therein a store of dainties to his heart's desire, and sent forth a warm and gentle wind to blow. And goodly Odysseus rejoiced as he set his sails to the breeze. So he sate and cunningly guided the craft with the helm, nor did sleep fall upon his eyelids, as he viewed the Pleiades. Is that really the Pleiades? And Boötes? Yeah, Pleiades and Boötes.
Viewed the Pleiades and Boots.
I think that's Pleiades, isn't it? Like those are the stars. Okay, and that's Boötes.
Trying to see where is it? The Pleiades and Boots.
I think the Pleiades are referring to the individual
It's
stars
stars.
of Pleiades.
So it's pronounced Boötes then.
Okay.
Is it?
And Pleiades,
I think.
Pleiades and Boats. I don't know. This is not English. It's all Greek to me.
But cha.
Exactly.
Okay. That setteth late, and the bear, which they likewise call the wain, which turneth ever in one place, and keepeth watch upon Orion, and alone hath no part in the baths of ocean. This star, Calypso the fair goddess, bade him to keep ever on the left, as he traversed the deep. 10 days and 7 he sailed traversing the deep, and on the 18th day appeared the shadowy hills of the land of the Phaeacians, at the point where it lay nearest to him, and it showed like a shield in the misty deep. Now the Lord, the shaker of the earth, on his way from the Ethiopians, espied him afar from the mountain of Salimi. Even thence he saw Odysseus as he sailed over the deep, and he was mightily angered in spirit, and shaking his head, he communed with his own heart. Lo now, it must be that the gods at last have changed their purpose concerning Odysseus, while I was away among the Ethiopians. And now he is nigh to the Phaeacian land, where it is ordained that he escape the great issue of the woe which hath come upon him. But methinks that even yet I will drive him far enough in the path of path of suffering.
The path of shuffling.
Oh, Metal Alchemist. Path of shuffling.
The Path of Suffering, my new game coming out on Steam. And,
Path of the shuffleboarder.
What? No, we don't allow shuffleboard on a ship. Who would allow shuffleboard on a ship? Well, now I'm thinking about it. Thanks for that idea.
Not to use a Poseidon voice too much or anything. With that, he gathered the clouds and troubled the waters of the deep, grasping his trident in his hands, and he roused all storms of all manner of winds, and shrouded in clouds the land and the sea, and down sped night from heaven. The east wind and the south wind clashed, and the stormy west and the north that is born in the bright air, roiling onward a great wave. Then were the knees of Odysseus loosened, and his heart melted, and heavily he spake to his
Spake.
own great spirit.
Like,
Spake!
Oh, wretched man that I am! What is to befall me at last? I fear that indeed the goddess spake all things truly who said that I should fill up the measure of sorrow of the deep, or ever I came to my own country. And lo, all these things have an end. In such wise doth Zeus crown the wide heavens with clouds, and hath troubled the deep, and the blasts rush on from all the winds. Yea, now is utter doom assured me. Thrice blessed those Danaans, yea, 4 times blessed, who perished on a time in wide Troyland, doing a displeasure the sons of Atreus. Would to God that let's see. That I too had died and met my fate on the day when the press of Trojans cast their bronze-shod spears upon me, fighting for the body of the son of Peleus. So should I have gotten my dues of burial, and the Achaeans would have spread my fame, but now is my fate to be overtaken by a pitiful death.
Even as he spake, the great wave smote down on him, driving it on in terrible wise, that the raft reeled again. And far therefrom he fell, and lost the helm from his hand. And the fierce blast of the jostling winds came and broke his mast in the midst, and sail and yardarm fell afar into the deep. Long time the water kept him under, nor could he speedily rise from beneath the rush of the mighty wave, for the garments hung heavy which fair Calypso gave him. But late and at length he came up, and spat forth from his mouth the bitter salt water, which ran down in streams from his head. Yet even so forgat he not his raft for all his wretched plight, but made a spring after it in the waves, and clutched it to him, and sat in the midst thereof, avoiding the issues of death. And the great wave swept it hither and thither along the stream. And as the north wind in the harvest tide sweeps the thistle down along the plain, and close the tufts cling to each other, even so the winds bear the raft hither and thither along the main. Now the south would toss it to the north to carry, and now and again the east would yield to the west to chase. But the daughter of Cadmus marked him, Ino of fair shackles, Leucothea, who in time past was a maiden of mortal speech, but now in the depths of the salt sea she had gotten her share of worship from the gods. She took pity on Odysseus in his wandering and travail, and she rose like a seagull on the wing from the depth of the mere, and sat upon the well-bound raft, and spake, saying, Hapless one, wherefore has Poseidon, shaker of the earth, so wondrous and wroth with thee, seeing that he soweth these seeds for many evils? Yet shall he make not a full end of thee for all his desire. But do even as I tell thee, and methinks that thou art not witless. Cast off these garments, and leave the raft to drift before the winds. But do thou swim with thine hands, and strive to win a footing on the coast of the Phaeacians, where it is decreed that thou escape. Here, take this veil imperishable, and wind it about thy breast, so that there is no fear to suffer thou aught or perish. But when thou hast laid hold of the mainland with thy hands, loose it from off thee, and cast it into the wine dark deep far from the land, and thyself turn away.
Everybody knows about this wine dark deep. It's
Full of metal alchemists.
It's ubiquitous. It's truly mesmerizing. I guess that's why there's so many fans of it.
It's nothing to whine over anyway.
But
I mean, it's the wine dark deep. Gosh darn it. It's a dang good place to be, I guess.
What? The wine dark deep. The wine dark deep.
I think they should rewrite the song with that lyric.
Well, regardless, I did Full Metal Alchemist, so
Yes,
I believe
yes.
that is Satiel's
Is I.
turn
I'm
now.
just going off about the wine dark deep and, you know, how
Yeah?
indebted we are to it. How much we love it.
That we are.
We just gotta
Getting deep
shout out
into
to the
the
wine
dark
dark
wine.
deep.
Got it.
Oh yeah. Full Metal Alchemist. With that, the goddess gave the veil, and for her part dived back into the heaving deep wine dark like a seagull, and the dark wine deep wave closed over her. But the steadfast goodly Odysseus pondered, and heavily he spake to his own brave spirit. Ah! Woe is me! Can it be that someone of the immortals is weaving a new snare for me, that she bids me quit my raft? Nay, verily, I will not yet obey, for I had sight of the shore yet a long way off, where she told me that I might escape. I am resolved what I will do, and methinks on this wise it is best, so long as the timbers abide in the dowel, so long I will endure steadfast in affliction. But so soon as the wave hath shattered my raft asunder, I will swim, for meanwhile no better counsel may be. While he pondered these things in his heart and soul, Poseidon, shaker of the earth, stirred against him a great wave of the wine dark deep, terrible and grievous, and vaulted from the crest, and therewith smote him. And as when a great tempestuous wind tosseth a heap of parched husks, and scatters them this way and that, and this way and that, and hither and thither, and to and fro, even so did the wave scatter the long beams of the raft. But Odysseus bestrode a single beam, as one rideth on a courser, and stripped him of the garments which fair Calypso gave him. And presently he wound the veil beneath his breast, and fell prone into the sea, outstretching his hands as one eager to swim. And the Lord, the shaker of the earth, the great mover and shaker, Elvis Presley, Poseidon, saw him and shook his head and communed with his own soul. Even so, after all thy sufferings, go wandering over the deep, till thou shalt come among a people, the fosterlings of Zeus. Yet, for all that I deem, not thou shalt think thyself too lightly afflicted, mama baby. Therewith he lashed his steeds of the flowing manes, and came to Ag. Where is his lordly home. Also extremely appreciate a hither and a thither. Yup. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. But Athena, daughter of Zeus, turned to new thoughts. Behold, she bound up the courses of the other winds, and charged them all to cease and be still. But she roused the swift north, and brake the waves before him, that so Odysseus, of the seed of Zeus, might mingle with the Phaeacians, lovers of the oar, avoiding death in the fates. So for 2 nights and 2 days he was wandering in the swell of the sea, and much his heart boded of death. But when at last the fair-tressed dawn brought the full light of the 3rd day, thereafter the breeze fell, and lo, there was a breathless calm, and with a quick glance ahead, he being borne to a great wave, he saw the land very near, and even as when most welcome to his children is the sight of a father's life, who lies in sickness and strong pains, long wasting away, some angry goddess sailing him. Their delight the gods have loosed him from his trouble. So welcome to Odysseus showed land and wood, and he swam onward, being eager to set foot on the strand. But when he was within earshot of the shore, and heard now the thunder of the sea against the reefs, for the great wave crashed of the shore. Crashed against the dry land, belching in terrible wise, and all was covered with foam of the sea. for there were no harbors for ships nor shelters, but jutting headlands and reefs and cliffs. And alas, the knees of Odysseus were loosened and his heart melted, and in heaviness he spake to his own brave spirit. Full Metal Alchemist.
Let's see, who is speaking here? Odysseus? Oh, at last
Yeah,
the knees
he's
of Odysseus
doing
were loosened, and his heart melt. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's the
Ah
one
me,
speaking.
now that beyond all hope Zeus hath given... Yeah, I'd like to spaken. Me, now that beyond all hope Zeus hath given me sight of land, and withal I have cloven my way through this gulf of the sea, here there is no place to land on from out of the grey water. For without are sharp crags, and round them the waves roar surging, and sheer the smooth rock rises, and the sea is deep thereby, so that in no wise may I find firm foothold and escape my bane. For as I fain I would go ashore, the great wave may happily snatch me and dash me on the jagged rock, and a wretched endeavour that would be. But if I swim yet further along the coast to find, if I may, spits that take the waves aslant and heavens of the sea, I fear lest the storm winds catch me again and bear me over the teeming deep, making heavy moan. Or else some god may even send forth against me a monster from out the shore water, and many such pastureth the renowned Amphitrite. For I know how wroth against me hath been the great shaker of the earth.
Whilst yet he pondered these things in his heart and mind, a great wave bore him to the rugged shore. There would he have been stripped of all skin and all his bones been broken, but that the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, put a thought into his heart. He rushed in, and with both his hands clutched the rock, whereto he clung till the great wave went by. So he escaped that peril, but again with backward wash it leapt on him, and smote him, and cast him forth into the deep. And as when the cuttlefishes dragged forth from his chamber the many pebbles clinging to his suckers, even so was the skin stripped from his strong hand against the rocks, and the great wave closed over him. There of a truth would luckless Odysseus have perished beyond that which was his ordained, had not grey-eyed Athena given him sure counsel. He rose from the line of the breakers that belch upon the shore, and swam outside, ever looking landward, to find if he might spits that take the waves aslant, and havens of the sea. But when he came in his swimming over against the mouth of a fair flowing river, whereby the place seemed best in his eyes, smooth of rocks, and withal there was a covert from the wind, Odysseus felt the river running, and prayed to him in his heart, Full Metal Alchemist.
Good prayer, Full Metal Alchemist. Hear me, O King. Whosoever thou art, unto thee am I come, as to one whom prayer is made, while I flee the rebukes of Poseidon from the deep. Yea, reverend even to the deathless gods, that is that man who comes as a wanderer, even as I now have come to thy stream, and to welcome to the stream, and to thy knees after much travail. Nay, pity me, O King, for I avow myself thy suppliant. So spake he, and the god straightway stayed his stream, and withheld his waves, and made the water smooth before him, and brought him safely to the mouths of the river for 19.99 plus shipping. And his knees bowed, and his stout hands fell, for his heart was broken by the brine, and his flesh was all swollen, and a great stream of sea water gushed up through his mouth and nostrils. So he lay without breath or speech, swooning. Such terrible weariness came upon him. But when now his breath returned, and his spirit came to him again, he loosed from off him the veil of the goddess, and let it fall into the salt-flowing river. And the great wave bare it back down the stream, and lightly Ino caught it in her hands. Then Odysseus turned from the river, and fell back into the reeds and kissed earth, the grain giver. And heavily he spake unto his own brave spirit. Ah, woe is me! What is to betide me? What shall happen unto me at the last? If I watch the riverbed all through the careful night, I fear the bitter frost and fresh dew may overcome me, as I breathe forth my life for faintness. For the river breeze blows cold betimes in the morning. If I climb the hillside up to the shady wood, and there take rest in the thickets, though perchance the cold and weariness leave hold of me, and sweet sleep may come over me, I fear lest of wild beasts I become the spoil and prey. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. So as he thought thereon, this seemed to him the better way.
What happened?
I don't know. Did we lose Baljeet?
I wonder.
Baljeet, if you can hear us, we can't hear you. In fact, it looks like Baljeet's stream also went down.
Uh-oh, maybe internet went down for Baljeet.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Okay. Well, we could take a BRB until Baljeet gets back online. I'm good with taking a break.
Alright, I'll still be here.
Sure. Alright. We are back.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Small
Let's
technical
see, I guess I
hurdle,
should
no big deal.
Yeah. So I guess I should continue reading from where we left off.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Okay. So, as he thought thereon, this seemed to him the better way. He went up to the wood and found it. Wait, is that where we were?
I
Yes.
don't actually remember.
Yes, so as he thought thereon... Yeah, because I did the woe is me. That's where
Okay.
we are.
Yay. Okay. He went up to the wood and found it nigh the water in a place of wide prospect. So he crept beneath twin bushes that grew from one stem, both olive trees, one of them wild olive. Through these the force of the wet winds blew never. Neither did this bright sunlight on it with his rays. I'm gonna read that again. Neither did the bright sun light on it with his rays, nor could the rain pierce through. So close were they twined, either to each other. Thereunder crept Odysseus, and anon he heaped together his hands, a broad couch. For of fallen leaves was great plenty, enough to cover 2 or 3 men in winter time, however hard the weather. And the steadfast goodly Odysseus beheld it and rejoiced, and he laid him in the midst thereof, and flung him over the fallen leaves. And as when a man hath hidden away a brand in the black embers at an upland farm, one that hath no neighbors nigh, and so saveth the seed of fire, that he may not have to seek a light otherwhere, even so did Odysseus cover him with leaves. And, clicking on it. And Athena shed upon sleep, Athena shed sleep upon his eyes, that so it might soon release him from his weary travail, overshadowing his eyelids.
And that was the end of the book.
What a way to end that book.
That's okay. So how are you feeling? Do we want to continue on? Or shall we reschedule for the next time?
I mean, I'm okay either way.
Okay. Baljeet, how are you feeling?
I'm also okay either way. I think that whenever we do read next time, if other people want to join in too, seeing if we can get a date or works for them. But yeah, I'm good to keep going. Do you know how many more books there are in the Odyssey?
Oh, there's like 30.
Yeah.
There's like 30
Oh,
books
they're good.
total. Yeah.
Okay.
We have almost finished, like, the prologue, haven't we?
We basically
wait,
got
this
through
is
the
just-
prologue, and now we're on to like the actual journey of Odysseus. Yes,
Damn.
seems like. I think I'm probably underestimating my energy levels just because I didn't actually talk about this at the beginning of the stream, but like I just got done with like our school's broadcast of commencement and was like responsible for doing camera broadcasting. So while I feel like I'm energized from that, and like I still feel like I can keep going, I feel like maybe I should keep resting. So I am
don't
so
overdo
good
it.
with like doing one book a stream whenever we do this.
Yeah, I think it's a good pace.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yes.
If I want to go faster, I can always do it on my own.
That's true. Yeah, and I have another version waiting for me on my bookshelf that I like to go back to and like compare, and that's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you
in
for
the
the
chat.
invitation, as always.
And thank you for joining us, my faithful reading renegades. And
Yes.
yeah, this is always a delight, and I'm really enjoying it. So, next question: who's on? Who do we raid?
I'm still gonna be on for a little bit. I'm gonna try to play.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't die in Dark Souls yet from
You're doing
that.
the Dark
last run.
Souls. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
let's pass over to you.
Sounds like a plan. For everybody who, oh, did we lose Baljeet again?
Did we? No?
No, it's just Baljeet's, avatar that's missing on Baljeet's stream.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Invisible
just realized I gotta-
Baljeet.
Let me pop this stuff back up. That'll be nice.
Well, it might work a little better at the very least.
Mhm. Not just a disembodied voice.
I mean, I'm used to being a disembodied voice, but, I think you would like to not be.
This time you weren't a Force ghost. I was gonna ask you, but I kind of wanted to read the book.
No worries. And I don't mind being a Force ghost if that's what you need.
Yeah, that is fun. Maybe next time.
I'm very fun. And we'll have to
Yeah.
catch it next time, yes.
Oh,
To
for
any of you
sure.
who aren't going to be sticking around for the Dark Souls, thank you very much for joining us. It's always lovely to see you, and until next time.
Absolutely. And I'm really excited to see how Sen's Fortress goes for you, Baljeet. It's looking pretty spicy.
Will you be hanging out to do commentary with me, or what are your plans from here's the deal?
I am gonna chill. I'll lurk.
Alright.
I have a nice freshly made bed waiting for me.
Well, that is hard to argue with. Have a wonderful bed.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
to you.